start all over again. So again, we would like to, I would like to introduce to you our special guest. She's from Florida, Orlando, Florida. And with over 25 years of emergency department experience, she is a registered nurse, sexual assault nurse examiner, and a trauma-informed care expert. So, as a sexual assault coach, she trains healthcare teams to respond to survivors with compassion and confidence. So she is an award-winning and #1 best-selling author and an international speaker committed to breaking the silence around sexual violence. She serves on the boards of the ESTHER Alliance, formerly KISS, KISS Incorporated, and the Florida Council Against Sexual Violence, and is a passionate advocate for survivor-centered care. Let us welcome our dear guest speaker, Marie McKenzie. Welcome, Marie.
Thank you
Yay!
so much, Cynthia, and thank you everyone for having me, and thank you for that introduction.
Uh-huh.
So, as she said, I am Marie McKenzie, and I wear all those hats and more. And one hat I wear that I never choose was that of a survivor. But most importantly, I'm a child of God. And today we were going to be talking about overcoming obstacles and building resilience. And I have my notes in front of me, which I'll be consulting because I don't want to miss any of the important things that I want to say. Overcoming obstacles and building resilience, but not the buzzword kind. I'm talking about the deep soul tested resilience that grows in the dark seasons and shows up when quitting seems easier. I'm passionate about the word of God, so I'll be sprinkling a couple of scriptures. If that's not for you, you take what do you want from this, because there's something for everyone. In Psalms 34:19 says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them. It delivers them out of them all. This is our anchor today. The presence of challenges does not mean the absence of God. It means he's preparing a testimony. I repeat, the presence of challenges does not mean the absence of God. It means he's preparing a testimony. If you're not religious or spiritual, as I said, facing challenges doesn't mean you're alone or forgotten. Sometimes our struggles are shaping our stories and preparing our strength to help others. Your story is being written. Let's begin by understanding what resilience is. What does it mean to be resilient? Resilience isn't about being strong. For me, it's the ability to recover from adversities. It's about continuing to move forward even when shaking knees. It's not just bouncing back. It's not just surviving the storm. You're being strengthened by the storm you're facing. It's about how you choose to face life's challenges. Every time you get back up, choose hope, ask for help, or show up despite fear. You build resilience. In Isaiah 40:31, we read, but those who hope in the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall soar with wings like eagles. They shall run and not go weary. They shall walk and not faint. If you're tired this evening, if you're weary, let this encourage you. Your strength isn't gone, it's being renewed. Now that we understand what it means to be resilient, I want to take a moment just to share a piece of my story. And it's not a sad story. I mean, I'm here. So my story has turns and it's written and I'm joyful. I was born and raised in Jamaica. Like many children, I was curious, joyful, and hopeful. But early on, I faced something that would forever change me. something no child should ever have to face: childhood sexual abuse. It created a wound that didn't go away with time. I carried it into adulthood, into relationships, into my career. It affected my entire being, my entire life. It changed the way I see the world and the people around me. For years, I was functioning, but broken. I looked strong. I was wearing big smiles. I go to work, I laugh, I'm in church, I'm on the choir, looked happy, but was silently battling guilt, shame, fear, self blame, and pain. But here's the beauty of it: God showed up. He showed up in Psalm 147:3. It says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. My wounds have been bound up. Healing didn't come all at once, it came in layers through prayer, supportive friends, community, service to others, purpose, and a deeper walk with God. It came when I gave myself permission to tell the truth, grieve the loss, and release the guilt, shame, fear, and self blame. There were days when I felt I had taken 3 steps forward and 4 steps back. But God, I didn't give up, although I felt like that many times. Now I help others to walk on their journey, but with light and hope, not with guilt and shame. We all face obstacles. Maybe yours is not sexual abuse. Maybe it's grief, betrayal, illness, or even feelings of failure. But let's talk about what obstacles teaches us. Obstacles are the classrooms of our calling many at times. They help to refine us, not to define us. Like some of you, I serve a God who transforms pain into purpose and sorrow into strength. We learn in Romans 8:28 that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him. Most of the time, we can't even imagine any good that's going to come from some of our situations. But we don't have the whole picture. We are not God. Sometimes obstacles feel like punishment, but many times they prepare us for the next level, a promotion, something bigger and better. Think about some of the stories of resilience we read in the Bible. Joseph was thrown in the pit, but it prepared him for the palace. David went from a shepherd boy to become a king. Esther was an orphan. She became a queen and risked her life, but it positioned her to save a nation. And we all have read of what happened to them during their journey. Many of their their obstacles were put up by their family, like Joseph's brothers, the people who you were supposed to trust, the people who are supposed to love you. You may say, but that's in the Bible. What about real people? But I have news for you. There are many real world examples, some against imaginable odds. I'm the visionary behind the anthology From Stuck to Limitless, released in 2023 as an Amazon #1 bestseller, where 12 other authors joined me in sharing their stories. There were veterans who shared their stories of overcoming post-traumatic stress disorders, depression, ladies who suffered childhood sexual abuse, some even the hands of their fathers, others with debilitating illnesses, and all have overcome. And the beauty of it all, walking in purpose and helping others to do the same. So you see, many times what feels like a setback is a setup for something greater. That thing you see as a stumbling block may just be a stepping stone to your next level. It means it's time to level up, prepare for bigger and better things. Obstacles are sometimes painful, but God never wastes pain. He can use anything for his glory. Now that we have seen how obstacles shaped our life, let's get practical. How do you build real resilience in tangible ways? How do we build the kind of strength that lasts? Number one, we reframe the narrative. Change your perspective. Are you a victim of your circumstances, or do you use it to fuel your motivation? When you adjust your perspective, you see things from a whole different angle. Instead of saying, why me? Ask yourself, what now? Let your trials become your training ground. Instead of, why me? What is God teaching me through this? What are my options here? What can I learn from this situation? Look for the opportunities that are present. What are the opportunities? These questions turn you away from focusing on the negative and allows you to see and focus on the positive. When we focus on the negative, we are so single-minded and we don't see the opportunities that's sitting right in front of us. The word in James 1, 2-3 said, consider it pure joy whenever you face trials, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. As humans, it's often hard to see the big picture and find joy in struggles. How can there be joy in struggles? But when we shift our perspective, everything can look so much different. Give it a try. You may be surprised at what you discover. Next time you face a roadblock, look for the opportunities to step into your next season. Number 2, honor your emotions. Even the most admired figures experience deep emotions. Jesus wept. David cried out in the Psalms. Your feelings don't mean you're failing or that you are alone. It's important to acknowledge what you're feeling, but don't remain stuck there. Sometimes the best thing you can do is let go, trust the process, and give yourself time to heal and grow. The challenge is that sometimes we pray and we wait for a minute, the situation doesn't change, so we pick it back up because we don't have the patience. And remember, God's timing is not our timing. So learning to be patient, to trust the process, and to prepare yourself while you wait can make all the difference. Number 3, find your people. You don't have to connect to everyone, but having even one person who understands you makes all the difference. You are not alone on this journey. No one is meant to walk alone. We need our sisterhood. We need our brotherhood. We need our community. Ezekiel 6:4-9-10 says, 2 are better than one. If either of them fails, one can help the other up. You need your community. Do you have a community? Yes, you do, because I see you here and I know you're connected outside of this chat. So other people who hold space with you and who stand up for you when you need them. Sometimes after we have been through some stuff, betrayal, disappointments, it becomes hard to trust, hard to open up yourself to others again. But letting trusted voices in your life can be a powerful source of healing and growth. Over time, you learn to trust again and welcome people who offer strength and support, not just sympathy. Seek out those who don't simply tolerate your pain, but stand alongside you, helping you to move forward. Number 4, take one step at a time. You don't need to see everything or figure it all out before you take the first step or even the second step. Sometimes all you need is to trust the process and let yourself be guided one day at a time. Healing isn't linear, it's not a straight line. There will be good days and difficult days. There will be progress and setbacks. It's a journey that unfolds with each choice you make. Let yourself be supported. You don't have to walk alone. Seek help when you need it. Seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Number 5, speak life over yourself. Your words carry power. What you speak, you shape. Instead of focusing on your setbacks, begin to affirm hope and possibility. When you get caught in cycles of fear and doubt, remember, you have the power to shift your mindset and speak words of strength and encouragement to yourself. Growth comes from choosing to move forward, supported by truth and the belief that you can overcome. Don't echo the enemy, declare the promise of God. According to Proverbs 18:21, death and life is in the tongue. And I remember laughing about this with friends of mine. We were talking about our health and diet and how death and life is literally in the tongue based on what we eat, what we put in our body. So speak life to yourself. Joel 3:10 said, let the weak say, I am strong. Say it and believe it, even if your knees are shaking. Number 6, when you feel like giving up, let's address the hardest moments, the ones when giving up feel like the only option. There were nights when I cried until the tears ran dry. Nights I whispered, God, why so much pain? Days when I felt crushed under the weight of it all. Too much for a little girl. Too much for this woman. Too much for one heart to carry. But just when I felt like letting go, God reached in and held me together. Not my strength, not my will, His grace every time. When the breaking felt final, God whispered, you're still standing. And that was enough to keep me going. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, God says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. I do not know about you tonight, but I am standing on His promises, on His word. Sisters, brothers, ladies, gentlemen, if you're feeling tired, I see you, but you are still standing. And that means your story is not finished. You may feel worn out and beat down, but God is not. He's right there with you. The very fact that you are still here, the very fact that you're sitting here listening to me right now means that you have made it through every single one of your hardest days so far. That's not chance. That is strength. That is grace. That is resilience. Resilience doesn't mean the storm didn't shake you. It means you didn't stay down. Resilience isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. And sometimes progress looks different. It's taking a break. It's pausing. It's taking a nap. It's recharging, like going to the gym, sleeping. It's about falling 7 times and rising up 8. still standing, still growing, still pressing on. In 2 Corinthians 4:8-9, it says, we may be pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, struck down, but not destroyed. If you're still here, standing, sitting, or just getting up, there is hope. Healing is possible, and you're never alone on this journey. You may have started the journey alone, but you don't have to remain that way. You were made to overcome, not by your own power alone, but with the support of the one who conquered death itself. You may have scars, but they are not marks of shame, nor do they mean you're broken or without hope. They are proof of your survival and a testament to your resilience. Each scar is a reminder that healing is possible. So don't keep reopening the whole wounds by dwelling on the past. You were never meant to stay down. You were made to rise, to overcome, and to move forward. And the journey wasn't meant to be halfway. Your purpose is to thrive. It's time to move forward if you haven't started and embrace the life that's waiting for you, your purpose, your possibility. You are more than a survivor. You are a living proof that healing is real and your journey is a powerful testament. It's a powerful story. By sharing your stories like I am doing, like I have been doing, you let others know they're not alone. And you remind them that healing is possible. I know, I am proof. Don't keep your stories to yourself. Don't keep your stories to yourself. Share them to help others to know that they are not alone and healing is possible. I am Marie Mackenzie, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. If you have any questions, I'd love to
Wonderful,
share.
wonderful for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Very powerful. And I agree, we all have gone through struggles, but a lot are just stuck. Why? Because, as what you have mentioned, you have the six, uh, what's this?
Steps
Guidelines.
or
Uh-huh. Lessons that you have learned throughout your journey. And uh, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. By the way, when you mentioned when was the time wherein you made that shift? Was it were you very close to the Lord while you were still young, or was it you became closer to God because of the struggles or the challenges you have gone through, or what was uh, what was that particular thing that made you shift, or that you s- told yourself enough is enough, I have to make this shift?
was always in church. I was born in church. So,
Mm-hmm.
but being close to God was a different story.
Uh-huh.
So, this shift came when I relocated to the United States. I became a nurse and worked in the emergency room. And I started caring for sexual assault survivors. Now, I had this big secret. I was assaulted first time when I was 11 years old, was a family member. Never told anyone in the family until I was about 45. And my aunt, I told, and we just kept it to ourselves. We never told anybody else. So working in the emergency room, here was counseling survivors, you know, encouraging them and supporting them and share your story, talk about this, go to counseling. But I wasn't doing that for myself. I was living with this big secret, shame, guilt. And when you have these kind of stuff going on, you're living loud on the outside, but the inside is being crushed. There is health issues, there is depression, there is suicidal ideation, relationships that you align with, people that you don't, you know, wasn't good for you in the beginning. So I ended up in a marriage that was like, I shouldn't have been in. So then it struck, that was my moment, being in the emergency room and caring for survivors. Then I started reaching out to organizations and people who care for survivors and getting resources, really seeking God. I've known him all of my life. I've always been in church. I was a Christian, but I wasn't living the word. So now getting deeper, engaging in community with trusted individuals. And then when I was about 59 years old, I was invited on a podcast because someone reached out to me. They saw on my bio on Clubhouse that Clubhouse is an app. I don't know if everybody knows about Clubhouse, that I was a
Yeah.
sexual assault nurse examiner, and they wanted to interview me on my role. And then I just blurted out on that podcast that I was a childhood sexual assault survivor. And so that was the first time I started speaking about it publicly. I got the recording and shared it with my family. And then that's the first time they were hearing about it, because the aunt who I had told had died by then. And then that opened a whole can. I heard from other family members about their experience with sexual abuse, friends from high school, because now I was sharing it on Facebook and everywhere. I heard from friends in high school, people were reaching out to me, sharing their story. So now that was healing for me too, knowing that just sharing my story has impacted so many others. And about the same time, I had the opportunity to enter a 30-day writing challenge where I charted my memoir, which shared my story. And that was powerful. It was a bestseller, won an award, and has been helping many people since 2021 when I wrote it. And my writing continues. I just released last weekend, Who Says You Can't Heal, Overcoming and Thriving After Sexual Assault. So that's geared towards sexual assault survivors. So I am reaching back to, helping other survivors, other people who need what I didn't know I needed at the time and didn't seek until so much later, and wish I knew I didn't have to suffer all that time.
When you were invited to be a podcast guest, what did you immediately say yes, or was there fear also from your end because it will be heard by your family members and probably
I hadn't planned on disclosing. I hadn't planned on disclosing. I was just going to talk about my role of being a sexual assault nurse examiner.
I
Oh, yeah,
see.
there was no plan. It just came out. My mouth just
Uh-huh.
spoke without my permission. So,
Yeah, uh-huh. Because you
but
get
it was meant to
inspired.
be.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, it was meant to be because it changed everything.
Yes. And because when you share your story, as what you've mentioned, you're free now,
You're
free from
free.
that bondage that which you
Exactly.
have been holding on. Imagine since 11, and then you
Yes.
just shared it at the age of 40,
15, 45, I shared it with my
45.
aunt.
See?
59 was when I went public.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yes.
I felt the same way before when my business coach told me, do a live video of your story. Oh my. It took me 5 times. I'll pray one. It took me 5 prayers, 5 times to pray. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I press the live button or not? Because I'm just scared. Some of the members are also my friends. So I don't know what they're going to tell me, or will they be judging me or whatever. I don't know. So, but then after that, I was free. I cried and cried so much.
And you got the support. They supported you, right?
Yes.
So a lot, yeah, and maybe God didn't allow me to think about it because I probably would still be afraid to reveal it. It just came out without my even thinking about it.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, I agree.
It was so
Mhm.
cathartic.
Any other questions? But I liked your the one you've shared, six ways on how to
Built
overcome,
resilience.
build
Mhm.
resilience. Yes. And Sheldon is also um, uh, um, an advocate of really overcoming struggles by building resilience. And I'm glad he was able to attend. He also has a book.
Oh,
And this community is really supporting each one and then helping each one really stand up and um, rise and
it's
shine.
good. It's good to have a community.
Oh,
Yes, we
yes.
all need someone. And when you can find good people to be around you, positive influences, so that you can support and help each other up, that's powerful.
Oh, yes.
Yes, no one is meant to walk alone. And I know some people are there. I think, oh, nobody has gone through what I've been through. I'm alone. So sharing our stories, whatever it is, because it's not always sexual abuse, it could be anything. It
Hmm.
will help others to know that they're not the only one going
Exactly.
through that.
Exactly. Brian. Oh,
Yeah.
just in
Yeah,
time
I
when
can
I
see
called
Brian
you.
want to say something.
Oh, yeah. No. No. That was a great presentation there. I must say, I took lots of notes. Um, but the one thing is to be very calm when you tell your story, and they always say like calmness, because especially when you have something important you want to tell, if you're calm by telling it, like people feel calm with you. So, but yeah, that's that's the big is I guess that's one of the obstacles that people face, isn't it? Because to be calm, you have to be like completely know yourself, and you have to because your thoughts, what you say, will impact people, and so what's the best maybe like in your like with your journey? I know you said you're very strong, you're born in charge, so like so
Was what?
I think you said you were born to be a leader. Like I think that's what you said.
Born to
Like
be.
he was, or maybe no, I thought maybe sorry,
Uh-huh.
or well,
I said I was born in the church. I mean, I was always in the church, but wasn't
yeah,
really living the life.
risen in life, yeah. So yeah, so but that helped. I guess is that what's the best way to like be
Yeah,
calm with when you tell your story?
I think
Journaling,
writing it out first,
yeah,
like writing it out first. And maybe the first few times you say it, your voice was shake, but that's okay. The more you tell it, the more relaxed you become. So yeah, it's okay if you voice shake the first few times. It's okay if it's not fluent. Sharing it is if you feel comfortable, because as I tell survivors who have worked with, you don't owe anyone your story. So it's only if you feel comfortable sharing and sharing what you feel comfortable sharing. So yes. So but it's like writing it out first, and reread it and practice in the mirror, so, if you
Yeah.
have a chance to, yes.
yeah,
Record your voice and listen to it again. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, that's the
yeah,
right. And actually me, I have my I mean my critics, my children. They would always laugh at my accent. I have a very
Oh,
strong accent. And they would just copy me. And then I told myself, if I'm going to stop what I'm doing because of their criticism or whatever their feedback is, I think I don't care. I don't care now. And because my purpose is to share the story to other people.
yes.
Yeah.
And another thing about being empathetic too, people who may not sound like us or look like us, trying to move ahead, share their story, build resilience, and we put them down, and not everyone has the courage to keep going forward. You put them down and they shrink, so yeah, we're like stumbling block in people's ways sometimes if we're not very careful about how we offer constructive criticism, because if it's constructive, fine, but sometimes we're cruel in the way we do it.
Yes.
So, be mindful.
Yeah. That's the main reason why we have this community.
Yes.
No, all are equal.
Yes. I have a
All
community
of
where
uh-huh.
we practice, or if we're doing presentations, we'll practice with each other and get pointers.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's going to do a webinar, then they'll bring it and they practice and we give feedback.
Uh-huh. And actually, what I want to them to build is their confidence. So I've asked them to present in this in this mastermind group. Each one had their assignment to make a presentation.
It's
So
awesome.
at least they were able to experience it, and then they'll be more confident to
Yes.
share it with to a bigger group.
Yes, go on podcasts and different. Yes.
Mhm.
I was terrified in the beginning going on podcasts and talking. I mean, that first podcast was to talk about being a sexual assault nurse examiner. But after that, sharing my stories, in the beginning, it was like terrifying because you have people who heard me on that podcast, want me to come in their podcasts and different things. So it's like,
But after several times, you feel comfortable,
yes, it's
right?
fine. Yes,
It's
no, I
fine.
can.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And that's what I want them to experience.
Yeah, and knowing the impact it has on others have motivated me to continue sharing.
Yes. And that's your purpose. That's why it's
Yes.
good to start having a purpose, discover your purpose.
Yes. Yes, and I have a passion for survivors of sexual assault. That
Yeah.
I speak about it, I write about it. Yes.
I
I
think
won't shut up.
May unmuted herself.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have a question. So Marie, when you're in the ER and you see someone come in like that, are they generally, is there somebody that can help counsel them or does the,
There's always there's a protocol. There's an advocate that we call.
yeah,
If it's, there's an advocate is one of the people who are always on the case. The advocate is there just for the survivor, talking to them, holding their hands. They sometimes are the ones that transport them to appointments beyond the emergency room.
yeah, or take them to a safer place or something like that.
Yes. And after I left the hospital, I worked as a contract sexual assault nurse examiner for Victim Services of Central Florida. And they are outside of the hospital in the community. So, after doing both in the clinical setting and the community, I do prefer the community setting because you're far away from the prying eyes of the other patients and staff. So it offers more privacy, and their licensed social workers are there for counseling. So we screen for suicide and, suicidal ideation. So we care for the whole person, not just the forensic part, exam part.
Are there some women that come in that don't want to talk about it and try to pretend nothing happened and the doctors and nurses can see what really happened, but they don't want to talk about it? Is that
There are times when the survivor doesn't feel safe
yes
to disclose. And that's one of my passions about teaching healthcare teams about trauma-informed care, because you have to be able to communicate in such a way that fosters safety. The survivor needs to feel safe enough to trust you to disclose. So you may have someone who comes in for abdominal pain, or I was beaten up by my husband, and it involves sexual abuse, but they may never disclose the sexual abuse because they don't feel safe to do so. So creating that environment from the very first encounter is very important. And we also have survivors who want prophylaxis medication, but they don't want to go into details. They don't want to have the police
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have as adults, they have their right to do so.
Yeah.
It's different if it's a child, if it's a minor, an elderly, or an adult with disabilities. There are certain cases when we're mandatory reporters for certain cases.
Thank you for what you do.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay. So how long have you worked as at the hospital again?
I've been a nurse since for over 26 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Now I do education. I teach new nurses.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And
That's nice. Mm-hmm. Showing more empathy to their patients.
yes, yes, yes.
Uh-huh. Barbara is um part of the 911 team also.
That's a
So,
very important sector too.
yes.
Yes.
And she tries to help as well in terms of making sure that the patients are okay until they get to their destination. Barbara, do you have anything to say?
Yes, actually, it's a great presentation, Marie, for
Thank you,
one.
Barbara. Thank you.
There is a lot of, you just have to have a lot of empathy, and you do, a lot of it's intuitive, a lot of it's listening. It's listening closely, just even to the inflections in the voice.
Right.
Someone might not actually admit something's wrong, but just the inflection in the voice will tell you. So,
Right. Their
the
demeanor.
exactly. The only the difference with a 911 operator is you have them on a line. It's all the voice. Oftentimes we would keep them on the line until help got there, help as much as we could, but sometimes we never found out the final outcome.
Yes. Instances where trafficking victims or victims of some kind of violence will call 911, but they're not able to disclose outright why they're calling, and they're speaking in like code language, and the operator, figure it out somehow,
Right.
and ask
Right.
certain questions, to maintain secrecy so they don't get further harm.
Yeah, they're getting a lot better about that. We used to have a lot of times people would call and then hang up,
Mhm.
and then call and hang up, and then you would know maybe they're trying to
Yes.
get help. And the policy was, okay, we didn't talk to a person, send somebody out. If you're in doubt, send them out.
Right.
To make it's always better to be safe. So
Yeah.
Right.
My Apple Watch malfunctioned, and one night it called SOS. It was like 1:15. I heard a voice asking, hello, your watch called, I think it says your watch called 911. So, I apologized, and I told her I was fine. Then my phone rang. They wanted to make sure I was fine.
Right.
Yes.
This is one of the best features of the iPhone, our
Yes.
Apple Watch.
Yes.
Instead of wearing what do you call this for the senior
I
citizens?
fall and I can't get up. That's what I call it. The life
What's
alert,
this
life alert,
AARP thing?
the life alert.
A life alert. So
Yes.
at least it's not very obvious that we're seniors when we use the Apple Watch.
Yes.
But it's really working. I've experienced twice also. I just hit a table and something, and then here they come asking me if if you need 911 or something like that.
If you fall, you can set
Uh-huh.
it so it senses if you fall. If
Yes.
you're in a motor vehicle crash. Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's a good feature.
Yeah.
Sheldon, would you like to say something? Oh, probably Sheldon is not there. How about Susan? Probably
Her head is
Susan.
down.
Uh-huh.
She's
Emmy,
distracted.
and by the way, Emmy, welcome Emmy for joining. There's Emmy
Me.
from the Philippines.
Oh, hi,
Are you in the
Thank
Emmy.
you
Philippines
for
right now or
including me.
New Zealand?
I'm in Manila right now.
You're in Manila.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
See?
You know, your talk is really very inspiring, and
Thank
Uh,
you.
I realize I also have my things that I need to share, but I feel that I'm not ready to share right now. Yes, but I
the
mean
time will
not
come.
with a group yet, but there's some people who went through the same thing that I'm able to share it with. But I mean not publicly like what you do, like
Yeah.
have talk in a bigger venue.
Mhm.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But I
Okay.
admire your courage.
Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
And that's what we need, people to share their story, because don't keep your story because you don't know
Yes.
how it will impact other people.
That's
Yes.
true.
That's the
Uh-huh.
important
Eh,
thing.
it makes you realize that you're not alone.
Yes.
Yes.
That for me
That's
is
the
a
main thing.
strength in itself. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're not alone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. You're
you for
welcome. Thank
joining
you,
us,
Dee.
Emmy. Emmy is my
It's a
grade school, high school
pleasure.
friend. Yeah.
From grade school, I think.
Yes,
That's
from grade
awesome.
school.
From
Uh-huh.
grade school, yes.
Uh-huh. From grade school to high school.
So, what Cynthia is doing is really very, very inspiring.
Oh, well,
Thanks,
thank
Sheldon.
And
The
I
more
know
we
that
share.
there are a lot of lives you've touched and, made them go on again and see
uh-huh.
their purpose.
Oh,
Yes.
thank
Yeah.
you.
So we
I
all love her.
Oh my God.
Admire
I
and
love
love her.
people. We don't know.
Yes.
It was only late when I discovered also my purpose. So it comes anytime as long
It's
once
never
you
too late.
discover, yeah, it's never too late.
Never
Once you
too late.
discover, then
Right.
I think I am being guided by the Lord as well.
Of
So this
Yes.
is
course.
God's
Yes.
plan.
Everything is all by God,
Yes.
through God's
Yes.
plans in each of us.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much. So any other questions?
I think there are some things in the chat.
Okay, let's Marie and thanks for the invite, Sheldon. Unable to go to go on mic. It's quiet time here at 10:30 p.m. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Sheldon. The more we share in the right spaces, the stronger we become. I agree.
Yes, the right
Yeah,
spaces.
I
because I
agree.
think,
Right
yeah, I think
spaces.
I agree with that because we all tend to kind of like, especially meeting new people, you might see someone who's quiet, and there could be someone might need someone to talk to, and like the thing is, we're all disconnected. There's a lot of social media. People are not talking to one another, and I just find a lot of those scriptures, you could just, I mean, I'm here in Spain, I'd love to like to talk to people more, but it's just the language thing, but it doesn't hurt to actually just go over and say, I don't understand how to speak, but you want to talk, but it's true. I think a lot of those scriptures you say, just start the conversation, because that's
Yes.
how people open up, and that's how we can become more find our purpose, because we're not in our head all the time, and we're actually
Exactly.
muscle. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Well said, Brian.
yeah. Thank you.
Most of the
Fine.
time, we always tell ourselves, "Oh, I'm always alone." But hey, the Lord is there. The Lord is there.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm not gonna sound
Yes.
good, it's
Just
not gonna come out good.
just open your heart, open
Yeah.
your mind
Yeah.
and heart, and let the Lord enter.
Yes.
Because He will always make a way when there
Yes.
seems to be no way.
Yeah. Or even share it with one of your community members or with your community. What do you think about so and so? Get
Yeah.
some constructive feedback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah.
constructive feedback. So don't feel
Yes.
bad, because feedback is part of learning, part of
Yes.
learning. And when we provide feedback, it's not, the main intention is not to put you down. The main intention is to make
Encourage and support.
encourage,
Yeah.
yes, make you thrive. Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much
He
again,
loves
Marie,
this.
and
Yes.
we had a
There's
wonderful
another message. I
session.
wonder everywhere. There's another message just popped up.
Okay, would you like to read? Not, what's that?
It's on
Not
the chat.
everyone or everywhere are ready or interested or able to understand what
Yeah.
it's really like. So be selective when and where you share. Agree.
That
Agree.
is amazing. Who
Yes.
wrote that?
That's
good.
Sheldon.
Yes, that's true, Sheldon.
That's
Yes.
true. That's true. And that's why it's this this mastermind group is a small group, at least to give each and everyone the opportunity to be comfortable in sharing also their story. And
Yes.
there's no one judging each other. We are here to support. That's the main thing here. Okay. So thank you again, Marie, and
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
let's let till the next session Monday.
Yes.
By the
Yeah.
way, Susan, are you ready for Monday? Not yet. Okay. Let us let me please help me look for another speaker. I'm trying to discuss, or the theme is more on next month is given the time and money freedom. Okay, I think May would be a great one. You've already given us a session on that, but
Someone said Susan
probably
is
in a
always
different
ready.
perspective. May, would you like time and money freedom?
Maybe we can talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So given all the time, the money, what would you love to do?
Okay.
To have to create.
Oh, that's a good topic.
Yes, yes.
That's what we want, freedom.
Freedom.
Yes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Freedom to
Okay.
travel, spend time with family, donate to our favorite charities.
Yeah.
Volunteer. Uh-huh.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
my topic for actually for tomorrow's live video. If you're given the gift of time, what would you like to do?
Wow.
That's my topic.
All
So,
right. Thank you so
okay.
much.
Thank you
So if
again. Till
if
next
anyone wants to
Monday.
reach out,
Oh, yes. How could
Cynthia.
they reach out to you? By
Yeah,
email?
you said you were going to share my contact
Yeah,
information.
Marie
Marie L.
L.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie@gmail.com. And then I couldn't. And then chat.marielmckenzie.com. And then what's
The
this?
chat.
LinkedIn. Could you tell? I couldn't find. Look at and Facebook. Just look for Marie Mackenzie, and Instagram and LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
my books are all on Amazon.
Uh-huh.
New one just went up this past Friday.
Uh-huh. What's the
Yes.
title of your book?
Who says you can't heal?
Uh-huh.
Overcoming and thriving after sexual assault.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, there is an 8-week workbook which is under review in the Amazon process somewhere, so it should be available in a day or so.
Okay.
Thank you so
We're so
much.
excited
Appreciate
about
you.
that. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you very
you
much.
and have a good
Thank you
evening
very
to all.
much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. Good
Appreciate
morning,
you.
Emmy.
Good morning.
Good
Take care.
morning.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Brian.
Good
And
night,
Brian,
Brian.
early
Good night to
morning.
all of you there. Good morning here.
Good morning.
Okay.
Enjoy
Good
your
morning, Emmy.
vacation, Brian.
I will.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
enjoy.
We appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.